Hey guys, it's Shauna Danielle and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be fixing some over bleached knots on your closure or frontal or whatever you have. So this is a full lace wig and I'm just bleaching the knots as usual, and it turns out that a lot of people have this particular problem, like over bleaching it and where the hair turns like orange or brown or whatever. So this never happened to me before, so I freaked out and I used this Adore honey brown like semi-permanent dye, and I just put it all over it, and then it just darkened the knots, so I had to re-bleach and then dye the hair and all of this craziness that you're about to see right now. So after I re-bleached the knots, I went ahead and I took a mascara, just a random mascara that I just had laying around. So this mascara is going to be used as like a brush to brush through the dye. So in addition to the mascara, I also use some off black dye that I got from the beauty supply store and a mixing bowl with the little brush thing. So these are the things that come in the dye. Some developer and the actual dye or whatever. And then some gloves come with it and instructions. So I just mixed all the components together, minus the conditioner obviously, and then I just put it in my mixing bowl. So at first it looks kind of like light, but after you keep mixing it, it becomes darker and darker. So I'm just tacking down my wig with some T-pins onto my wig head. And I would suggest actually putting a plastic bag on your wig head. I did not do that, and now my wig head is so stained with a whole bunch of black dye. So I would say put a plastic bag. So I just part like very small parts starting from one end all the way to the next end. I have to part all the way through because it's a full lace wig. So I'm just going to take the mascara brush and just turn it all in the dye so that the whole thing is covered in the dye. And then I'm going to pull the hair like outwards and go onto the roots and basically just brush through the roots until all the dye covers all of the orange. So I'm kind of twisting it around so that all the dye like kind of gets on there, especially because at first the blue mascara was still kind of on there, so I was twisting it around to get the dye on there, and so that you can brush it through like evenly. It's not just blotches of black someplace. So I'm just going to keep on doing very small parts, basically so that you don't miss any parts of over bleached like hair. So I started just dyeing both sides. When I part the hair, like I take that part and I just keep going on each side. Or when you part it, just dye one side and then the next side that's like still in the clip, just start on that side. So as you can see, I did the right side first, and then the part that's still in the clip, I'm starting on the inside of that. And then I'm going to part it and then do the opposite side of it, of that one particular part. So you can see right here is actually a really bad part of the over bleaching, so you have to make sure that your mascara brush hits all of the orange. Like this one patch right here just looks like a bald spot. So I'm just making sure to pull the hair out and then brush through, because if you kind of brush like while the hair is down on it, it's a little more difficult to like avoid touching the lace with the dye. So you might like again, like darken the lace. And you don't want to do that, so I think it's more helpful to hold out the hair so you can have more control over what you're actually dyeing. So here's a little close-up of the back part, which was like really badly over bleached. So I didn't hold it out, but you can see that I'm trying to take my time and avoid touching the lace with the dye. So now after I'm done going through all the parts, I'm just kind of putting the hair in a ponytail and looking at the whole perimeter to make sure that all of those hairs have been dyed. And then I'm just going to comb through the hair to make sure that everything is evenly distributed. And here is what it's looking like. A lot of this hair was actually orange before. The pictures didn't even show that much, but now it's looking black like it's supposed to look. So I'm just combing through it to make sure it's all distributed well. Then we're gonna let the wig sit like in a plastic bag for about 25 to 30 minutes. And then we're gonna shampoo it out and keep on rinsing over and over again until the water kind of runs clear. Then we're gonna go and use a conditioner that came in the dye box and condition the hair. And here is the finished product.